Mark Zuckerberg news. Yes, the founder of Facebook, his wife is expecting a baby girl fathered by The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. Hey, don't ever say we don't bring you the good stuff. Yeah. Well, it was only fitting that Mark Zuckerberg announced that he's going to be a father on Facebook, of course. In a Facebook post today, Zuckerberg wrote that he and his wife, Priscilla Chan, yes, they're expecting a baby girl. This will be a new chapter in our lives, he wrote. We've already been so fortunate for the opportunity to touch so many people's lives around the world. Celia as a doctor and educator, and me through this community and philanthropy. Oh, good. I'm glad he didn't say he was an educator. Good. That's a good thing. Now we'll be making the world a better place for our child and the next generation of Facebook suckers. Well, in addition to sharing the happy news, Zuckerberg also wrote a note to break the silence around miscarriages, a tragedy that many couples deal with in silence compared to the pregnancy and birth announcements so common on Facebook. He says, we want to share one experience to start. We've been trying to have a child for a couple of years. Yeah, you know where to put it in, right? Takes him a couple of years. I can bang a couple of kids out in a night.
Yes.
What the hell is going on?
Always with a female and having a relationship, married or single, it's always better that they do the leaving.
Oh.
If you do the leaving, it creates that lingering thing. You know what I mean?
Louis, we're not talking about leaving. We're talking about knocking them up. Yes, there's one experience to start. We've been trying to have a child for a couple of years and have had 3 miscarriages along the way. Well, that's because you have dud sperm. You feel so hopeful when you learn you're going to have a child. You start imagining who they'll become and dreaming of hopes for their future and how much is this all going to cost me? Yes, you start making plans and then they're gone. It's a lonely experience. Most people don't discuss miscarriages because you don't worry your problems will distance you or reflect upon you, as if you're defective or did something to cause this, so you struggle on your own. God damn, it's so amazing that this little idiot Zuckerberg is just so what? He's so knowledgeable. Yeah. In today's open and connected world, discussing these issues doesn't distance us. It brings us together, and it creates an understanding and tolerance, and it gives us hope. Wow, Zuckerberg actually believes he's given us hope. Wow. Nope, sorry, Zuckerberg. Dark roast gives me hope. That's right. Well, Zuckerberg was inspired to share his and Priscilla's story after talking to friends and realizing how frequently miscarriages occurred, and more, hopefully, how often healthy pregnancies followed them. Well, we hope that sharing our experience will give more people that same hope that we felt. We'll help more people to feel comfortable sharing their stories as well, he wrote. Our good news is that our pregnancy is now far enough along that the risk of loss is very low, and we are hopeful. Yeah, famous last words. Yeah. Next week you'll be on there, be like, we lost the baby.
Everything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Yeah, I know. It's going to be great. Well, he also joked that his unborn daughter may have a Facebook in her DNA. Of course, in our ultrasound, she even gave me a thumbs up like with her hand. So I'm already convinced she takes after me. Guys like this shouldn't be allowed to reproduce. Well, Mark and Priscilla have apparently been married since 2012, and so far, no fruit. That's right. Moving on today, of course, we've got Army news. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Army news.
Yes.
Get your Army news here. Army news. Well, yes, today in Washington, the Army is nearly 14% short of the recruits it will need to fill its ranks. Weren't these bitches just going, oh, well, we got to let everybody go. Budget cuts, budget cuts, budget cuts. So now, of course, what happens is the public out there, all the young recruits think, oh, okay, well, they're budget cutting everybody. They're not going to take us.
Yes.
So, why bother applying? And, well, now look what happened. Oh, shit, we got no Army. We got no Army. That's right. Not getting the recruits it needs to fill its ranks, marking the first time in 6 years and only the third time in the last 20 that it may fall short of its recruiting goal for the year. The Army's top officer for recruiting, Major General Failure. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That reads Major General Jeffrey Snow. Well, he acknowledged in an interview with us on Thursday the difficulties in attracting young men and women to be active duty Army and an improving economy and the greater effort his recruiters are taking to find new soldiers. I guess he hasn't gotten the budget cuts memo? Do you think? It's like they don't keep them informed.
Yes.
I'm thinking they're not keeping them informed, of course. Yeah. It's a challenging mission, he says, and we're not going to get around that, Snow said, and there are indications that the economy is going to continue to improve. Well, Snow, who took command this summer, oh, that's why. As he took command this summer, expressing confidence that recruiters would hit the goal of 59,000 new recruits within the fiscal year end September 30th. The shortfall in recruiting comes as the Army is planning to pair 40,000 soldiers from its ranks over the next few years. Despite that reduction to 450,000 men and women, the Army still needs about 60,000 young recruits to fill out its combat support units. Sounds like a discrimination case. Why are you going to get rid of 40,000 just so you can bring in 56,000? Something's wrong with that 40,000. Well, recruiters are working harder just to get potential soldiers to meet with them. Oh, it's kind of like Hillary Clinton. Well, for the first 10 months of the fiscal year 2015, recruiters made more than 415,000 appointments with young men and women interested in the Army. Those recruited just over 50,000 signing up to serve. For the same period in 2014, they made 371,000 appointments and had signed up 52,000 soldiers. Now, we made more appointments, Snow said. We conducted more appointments, yet there are fewer contracts achieved. Well, that's because the rest of the public out there knows that they're cutting. Well, meanwhile, the Air Force, Marine Corps, and Navy all have made 100% of their recruiting goals through May, according to the Defense Department. During the height of fighting in Iraq and Afghanistan, the services struggled to make their annual goals. Standards for recruits were lowered, and greater signing bonuses were handed out in 2006, thus the influx of dumb black people. For an example, it spent $1 billion on bonuses to recruit and retain soldiers. Bonuses and educational incentives, however, have decreased in recent years. Snow said the Army paid out $117 million in 2014 compared with the $235 million in 2013. Moreover, the quality of recruits has remained high, Snow said.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. You just said in the previous paragraph there, Snow, that you lowered the standards.
Yes.
You were getting those guys working on the shrimp boat. Run, Forrest, run. That's right. Yes, 20,000 bubbas were recruited. Well, Snow says the quality of the recruits remains high. Oh, I guess he's got nothing to gauge it against. Try going down to Louisiana for the weekend.
Yes.
Well, there's been a decrease in the percentage of recruits who have received waivers for or failing to meet educational or other standards. In 2005, the Pentagon relaxed standards for recruits who fared poorly on standard military exams. Those who scored lower than third of the test, so-called Category 4 recruits, had been limited to just 2% of recruits overall. The relaxed standard allowed 4% of those recruits, even that it was exceeded at times. Less than 1% of recruits this year belong in Category 4, Snow says. On quality, we're doing very, very well this year, he said. There you go. So, go figure that. Let's see. We gotta cut 50,000. Oh, we gotta recruit 60. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're doing there, but something seems, I don't know. It seems off. Louis, what do you think?
The music is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
You like the marching bands and stuff, yeah? No, I was actually talking about the recruiting versus the cuts,
That was a mistake on my part.
Well, that's okay. That's okay, absolutely. But what do you think about the story that we're talking about here?
I think it should be short and sweet.
Okay, all right. Well, at least I gave him a question,
yes,
and he gave me sort of a straight answer.
Yes,
That's an improvement. And of course, speaking of improvements, well, we got some Hillary Clinton news. Yes, that's right. Hillary Clinton finally back in the news again. I guess she's had coffee with 6 people. Well, at least we can hope.
Yes.
It's really, you see, that's the thing. It's really all about the hope.
Power tends to corrupt.
Uh-huh.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right, but we're talking about hope. Don't screw that up, Louis.
Yes.
I finally got a balloon going today. Don't pop it. I'm sorry. I've actually got to apologize.
Yes.
My mind is sort of somewhere else right now. Oh, that's right. Give me some of that Nashville naughty. Yeah. Well, moving on today, of course, the Hillary Clinton news, of course, is in excellent physical condition and is fit to serve as President of the United States. Yes, this according to her doctor in a letter released today. A letter from physician Leda Bardak describes Clinton as a healthy 67-year-old female whose current medical conditions include hypothyroidism and seasonal pollen allergies. Well, Bardak's assessment recounts a December 2012 episode when Clinton, who was still serving as Secretary of State at the time, fell ill with a stomach virus and suffered a concussion after falling on her face. Well, evaluations after the incident revealed that Clinton had transverse sinus venous thrombosis, a blood clot. She also experienced double vision. No, there's no girl under my desk, honey. Well, a test in 2013 found that all symptoms related to the concussion had been resolved, the letter states, including a total dissolution of the thrombosis. However, she was advised as a precaution to continue anticoagulation medication daily. The letter also describes aspects of her family medical history and notes that she does not smoke, drink alcohol occasionally, and exercises regularly. And they wonder why we don't trust her. Well, Clinton, the front-runner apparently, according to, I don't know, somebody, says that she's the front-runner for the Democratic nomination and is the first in the White House field to release her medical records. Well, don't expect you to beat out Donald Trump, Golden Boy. He's got better doctors than you. So that's the word today. Yes. Of course, Hillary Clinton is healthy, happy, and not seeing double anymore. I guess that's always good. I can just see it. Mr. President, we're going to DEFCON 1. Here's the red flashing button. We need you to authorize, give your code, and then press this button. Which one? Right. And now we get to move on to that weather story that Oh, God, I really wish I could send Frankie McDonald to cover it. I really do, because, of course, today we're getting now to that story that I was talking about earlier.
Yes.
The 163 degrees.
Yes.
You imagine what that little retard would look like? God, this is Frankie McDonald. I'm fucking dying. Oh, I so want to do it. That sigh was brought to you by Tim Hortons, New York City. That's right. Well, moving on today, we do have some absolutely staggering weather news.
Yes.
And no, it's not Texas.
Yes.
No. No, they're about, I think at their worst, they're about 40 degrees cooler than this. Yeah, heat index in Iran. Oh, that's right, gang. You heard me. Good old Iran. You know, if there's anybody that deserves to burn in their own special hell, here it is. That's right. The heat index in Iran hits a staggering 163 degrees today. Praise Allah. That's right. Bandar Mashashar, Iran, soared to a staggering heat index of 160 degrees today. 163, I should say. God, got to be correct with the dying.
Yes.
Yes, this afternoon, as a heat wave continued to bake the Middle East, already one of the hottest places on Earth. That was one of the most incredible temperature observations I have ever seen, and it is one of the most extreme readings ever in the world, says AccuWeather meteorologist Anthony Salagny in a statement today. While the temperature was only 115 degrees, the dew point was an unfathomable 90 degrees. On Thursday, the Iranian city of about 100,000 reached a heat index of 154. The combination, of course, of heat and humidity registered and measured by the dew point is what makes the heat index, or what the temperature actually feels like outside. The strong ridge of high pressure has persisted over the Middle East through much of July, resulting in extreme heat waves in what many would consider one of the hottest places in the world, Salgani said. Baghdad sweltered to its all-time record high on Thursday when temperatures soared to 124 degrees, AccuWeather reported. The heat was so bad that Iraq's Council of Ministers declared a 4-day mandatory holiday throughout the country starting Thursday. Little relief is in the forecast either. The ridge of high pressure will remain in place across the Middle East through at least the next week. So more oppressive heat and humidity and more astounding apparent temperatures are likely throughout the next several days. That's right. Along with the Red Sea coast of Ethiopia and the Gulf of Aden coast along the coast of Somalia, the Persian Gulf region is known for fierce combinations of heat and humidity, according to the book Extreme Weather by Christopher Burt. The seawater temperatures there can be in the upper 80s to 90s, he writes, so the ocean has no cooling effect at all on the coastal communities and provides an ample source of moisture to form even more humidity to die in hell. Well, though not an official record, the highest heat index ever recorded was in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, Burt writes, when it hit 178 degrees back in July of 2003. But I guess, it goes to show you start turning up the terrorism the temperature on your old terrorism stove there, and, well, it's coming back to bite you. That's right. And finally today, of course, what's next for Zion Harvey? Yeah. You're like, who the hell is Zion Harvey?
Yes.
Well, Zion Harvey is an 8-year-old little black boy who just underwent a double hand transplant. That's right. And, well, geez, what's next for him? Well, I don't know. Try clapping. That's right. The future looks bright for little Zion Harvey, the 8-year-old boy who recently underwent double hand transplant surgery. But it will require constant vigilance, according to lead surgeon Dr. L. Scott Levin. He will be a patient lifelong, Levin told us in a phone interview. When you do this kind of transplant as a surgeon, your patients become members of your family, and I say that with enthusiasm, he said. Zion's story and his captivating personality charmed the public when the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia announced the successful transplant on Tuesday in a video and statement. Levin and a team of surgeons, nurses, and anesthesiologists performed the 11-hour surgery earlier this month. The hospital did not release the exact surgery date in order to protect the privacy of the donor. That'd be the dead guy who gave up his hands. Well, Zion apparently lost his hands and feet when he was a toddler after he contracted a life-threatening infection and had to have them amputated. Zion's family declined to be interviewed at the time, but Levin weighed in on Zion's progress. He says he's exceeding all of our expectations, Levin said. Zion started therapy to gain use of his new hands roughly a week after his operation. Just see him at his first job. Hey, buddy, what are you doing? First day with the new hands? Oh, shit, I'm an asshole.
I think it should be short and sweet.
Well, they were before they slapped some new hands on him. Well, of course, Zion started therapy to gain use of his new hands roughly a week after his operation and has improved every day, according to Levin. Levin and said Zion is a determined patient. He wants a puppy, and he wants to be able to pick up his sister, he said. At a time too early to say how well Zion will adapt, he will be intense hand therapy for many months, and it could take up to 2 years before he meets full motion potential, according to Levin. Hand transplants, just like any transplanted organ, run the risk of being rejected by the body, so Zion will be monitored closely for the rest of his life. He will remain on immune-suppressing drugs to help reduce the risk of rejection. Zion was already on medication before the hand transplants because of a prior kidney transplant. The medicine causes a higher risk of infection and some people to develop cancer, but Levin said that is the case, not the case for everyone who has this kind of surgery. He's no different than any of the thousands of other organ transplants that require medication, he said. We monitor him very carefully for side effects. In the meantime, Zion's story continues to inspire Levin and said many people have reached out to CHOP already to inquire about the future similar surgeries. Apparently there's a lot of folks who need a hand up. He says there are other children we're preparing to evaluate to put on a waiting list, he said. Our dreams are to help children like Zion. Well, those dreams are now realities, he says. And there you go. That's first day with the new hands. Maybe that's what I should do. Yes. I should quit radio and go into if this hand transplant thing is successful,
yes,
there's going to be a lot of patients that get new hands.
Yes.
And so, physical therapy, if there was a hand transplant specialist for physical therapy, right? So they could,
yes,
they could come to my office and I could teach them how to smack that ass. When of course when they achieve, when they're of age.
Yes.
I'm not going to teach a bunch of 8-year-olds with, grown man hands to go around smacking women's asses. No. Although, wouldn't that be fun?
Yes.
Well, there it is, gang. Right there. We are out of here for your Friday Frappuccino, Coffee and Cigarettes. HTLA Radio on New York's Best Talk. Make sure to check us out. NewYorksBestTalk.com. Gilbert's social media links.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
And that's all you're getting from us. And, of course, a reminder, of course, to the weather ladies.
Yes.
Yes, get those audio files into me. Facebook.com/HTLA Crashman. Certainly would be looking forward to a Monday with no Frankie McDonald.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank the one, the only Louis Lawless for being here today. Thank you, sir.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
All right. Well, don't get busted before Monday. We need you on the show. Also, Gilbert, thank you for being here again.
Thank you for listening and support the show for the love of God.
There you go. And throw out your links too, Gilbert. Where do they follow you on Twitter?
On Twitter,
Yeah.
at Real Gilbert, ACP.
And your Instagram, where you're putting out all your naked photos. Yeah. Where are you putting those out?
And on Instagram,
Yeah.
Gilbert Podfree.
Oh.
PODFRIED.
Right. Yeah.
You see, it's kind of a pun on the last name.
Yeah, we got that.
Never mind.
We got it. We got it. And thank you, HTLA listeners out there on whatever platform you're listening to us on. We really appreciate it. Remember to stop by NewYorksBestTalk.com. Check out all the different shows. Whole bunch more coming for you starting next Monday. Got a new season coming up. Yes, it's the fall season. It's going to be minus 60. Oh, yes, it is. But have no fear, because you know what? We're definitely going to be keeping you warm, especially if we get those weather girls and the dildos and the, yeah. There you go. So I want to thank the one, the only Sharon Chesley, Devlon Crawford, of course, Stacy Stacks and Leanne and all the folks out there, Phil DeYoung, Greg Howe. You managed to hit the chat room again today. I'm really proud of you. Good job. It's only because there's boobs.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyhow, gang, that's it for us. You have a great weekend. I know we're going to. We'll see you Monday. There it is. That's right. It's the big 5 p.m. Eastern. That's right. New York's Best Talk, HCLA Radio 1. NewYorksBestTalk.com. Get on over there. That's right. Well, hey, good Monday to you. That's right. It's Coffee and Cigarettes, your Monday Mocha for this Monday, the 3rd of August, 2015. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Are you excited for September? I know I'm not. No, absolutely not. In fact, burn in hell, September. Burn in hell. Yes. Oh, right. Yeah, you want me to tell you about the show today? Well, hey, how about first of all, I tell you it's 90 degrees Central Park right now under sunny skies. So you're probably out at the park and not listening to me, and that's okay. Because one day, soon, when it's minus 60, oh, you'll be in your house listening to me. Yes, you will. Well, hey, hope you had an awesome weekend. We sure did, but alas, back to the grind. But all good things, as they say. That, of course, and the amazing things going on this week, so let's get to it. And today on the big show, we'll tell you about the new poll showing Donald Trump building a huge lead of 2-1 over any Republican close boy to him. And the voters are bitching because they don't like Fox and the way that they conduct polls. That's that. Well, what else today? Well, Obama news. Yes, Obama claims his climate change plan affects that 2016 race, damn it. And also today, in the wake of the death of Cecil the Lion, an Idaho hunter now defends her kill photos, now famous on Facebook as the ambushed St. Louis police officer. God told me to put on a vest. Yes, other stories we're following include police identify the black male suspect in the Memphis police officer's killing. And yes, he was armed, actually. The National Baseball Congress suspends the use of bat boys after a death in the game. Yeah, we got all that and so much more today. So, hey, come on in and grab a cup, have a seat, light one up, gang. It is your coffee time. right, it is your coffee time today. Yes, and welcome to New York's best talk, of course, HTLA Radio 1, bringing you your coffee and cigarettes today. Yes, 5:03 in the p.m. right now, and as I said just a moment ago, 90 degrees in Central Park, sunny. It's gorgeous out today. Absolutely. So we're glad if you're taking some time out to get out of the heat in Texas or wherever you may be. We're glad you're spending it with us. Of course, in the booth today, pushing the buttons, making the show go today, as always, is the one and the only Kissy Springer. And, well, we've been working more on her training, but, yeah, we'll have to see. Anyhow, of course, she is pushing the buttons on that PreSonus 2442 digital broadcast mixer, finally furnished by the folks at PreSonus.com. And if you're looking for any kind of gear, whether it be professional, non-professional, digital, analog, you name it, and number one in the audio game, check out PreSonus.com. Also, this show is brought to you by the fine folks, Tim Hortons, New York City, now with those 8 fine locations in the city to serve all of your coffee and baked goods needs. That's right, Tim Hortons. No video cameras in the bathroom, but they're always fresh. That's right. Moving on today, doing some shout-outs and how-tos, and thanks for listening. Of course, listener, yes, of course, yes, that listener out there, you know who you are. And, of course, Sharon Chesley is in the live chat room today, as I live and breathe. Well, I guess now, yes, it is time to move along and start doing the intros for the fine gentlemen that join me on this show every day. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce the first one, who is a 35-time Academy Award-nominated director of film and many, many television shows, Emmys up the yang-yang. But he's never won an Academy Award, and that would be, of course, the one, the only Louis Lawless, coming to us from beautiful Mill Bay Film and Television Studios in downtown Mill Bay, British Columbia, Canada. Louis, are you there?
We're 5 steps away from winning the Academy Award.
Yeah.
And we didn't.
I know. I just told the folks that, but it's okay. It's all good.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
We do have that, yes. And actually, today I've got a special surprise for you, Louis. I've got an audience now. Ladies and gentlemen, Louis Lawless. Yeah. There we go. So there you go, Louis. What do you think about that?
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Yeah, good. See? Isn't it funny what 9 or 10 people all sitting around clapping can do for you? Huh?
Oh, can we cuss? Can I cuss as I always do on the show?
Well, as I was just telling the folks at home there, not really sure that Kissy's got it together, so we'll just have to kind of...
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah, see? And also, of course, that lovely. We did the wheezy thing. Yeah. There's the wheezy thing. No, of course, the one, the only Gilbert Gottfried. Are you ready today?
What the fuck?
Well, I gotta ask.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, are you sure? Because
yes.
Okay. All right, well, Gilbert, do your intro, and then we'll move on with the rest of the show.
And this is... I that up.
Yeah, right.
That was a mistake on my part.
No, don't take the heat for him. That was definitely all Gilbert.
Everything that could go wrong goes wrong. Yeah.
You can blame everything, but it wasn't his fault either. All right, well, moving on today, welcome both gentlemen. Glad to have you here.
Yes.
And I guess let's give Gilbert a round of applause, too, to make him feel like, I don't know, something. Yeah.
See, now I've done Howard Stern 15,000 times. I can't even get a Chuckles Comedy Club.
So I guess really what you're saying is that you're grateful to be on this show.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. See, and rights you bloody should be, you little. But that Howard Stern man, I'll tell you, he's quite the. I was actually waiting when the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing was going on.
Yes,
I was actually waiting for him to come out on the cover of Rolling Stone as a woman. Yeah.
We're proud to say he's a fan of this very podcast.
Yes, he is. Yes. Yes, Howard. So we expect you to get on the cover of Rolling Stone next month.
Yes.
Yeah. Right on. So I guess we're ready to move on today.
Yes.
Are we good to go? Yeah. Where is it? Somewhere I had some information that I wanted to get to actually before the beginning of the show today.
Yes.
And damned if I just can't find it now. So screw it. We're just going to go on with the story.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what we'll do. Well, moving on, lining up the first one today, kind of interesting developments over the weekend, of course.
Yes.
Donald Trump is building a pretty huge lead over, well, anybody in contention on the Republican side by a margin of a minimum of 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And, of course, far quantum leaps ahead of anybody on the Democratic side, Oh yeah, I'm not even totally kidding about that. Yeah.
Yes.
No, but he's really kicking a lot of butt. But there's some other kind of interesting things going on. Kind of a whole thing about that. The GOP voters, well, they're claiming they don't like the format of the poll.
Yeah.
What do you want? It's a poll. It stands straight up. Well, you stick it in the ground. It sticks there. It's a poll. Or in this case, it's a poll with questions.
Yes.
You ask some questions, you get some answers. It's a poll. Well, in Trenton, New Jersey today, few GOP voters like the format of the top 10 presidential debate, of course, that Fox News is planning for Thursday. A Monmouth University poll released today found. The poll also found that Donald Trump widening his national lead to more than 2-1 advantage over his nearest rivals, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush and, of course, the now famous Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker. Yes, and get this, only 23% of Republicans and Republican-leaning voters say that they like the network selection method, which has drawn criticism from many candidates. They'd rather see back-to-back debates with the field randomly split in half, or putting all 17 candidates on the same stage and having a cage grudge match. Well, Fox News will use an average of recent polls to determine who is in the debate in Cleveland. Former Senator Rick Santorum of Pennsylvania, the winner of the 2012 Iowa caucuses, said on ABC's This Week that the selection process is, well, arbitrary. Folks are really concerned that the media is now saying, we're going to call the field, Santorum said. There will be a separate debate, of course, for the candidates who don't make the cut. Hillary Clinton. Well, Monmouth University pollster Patrick Murray, in a statement, said the poll results for many of the candidates overlap when the margin of error is considered, making it unclear who is truly in the top 10. I suppose Fox had hoped the top tier would emerge by the time the first debate rolled around, but based on current polling, there's no good rationale for arbitrarily selecting a top 10, Murray said. Trump is taking everything. Well, meanwhile, Trump received the support of 26% of GOP voters now, according to the poll. He was followed by Bush at 12%, Walker at 11%. And both of them are being led by Crash Jesus at 13%. Well, he leads among both male and female Republicans, with men 32%, giving him a large advantage over Bush at only 13% and Walker at 11%. Women, 20% of the vote, give him a narrower lead over Walker, 12%, and Bush 11%. Either way, it looks like it's going to be a 2016 Trump Christmas. beginning to look a lot like Trumpness. I gotta say, Tim Hortons Dark Roast today is especially heterosexual.
Yes.
My film, Unrepented, did very well in Europe.
Yeah, nobody cares. It's all Trump, Louis. Yeah. Well, but then again, you have to ask yourself, is it really all Trump?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that little black African Muslim in the White House, do you think he's just going to let the new election just happen without him?
Yes.
No, of course not. The little black Muslim African in the White House. Yeah, he's got some stuff to say. That's right, he does. He's not letting go without a fight. Well, no, he's not. In Washington today, yes, good old Pres Obama says his climate change plan directly affects the 2016 race, and it's going to rain on Inauguration Day, and he predicted it. Yeah, Washington, combating climate change will protect the nation's economy, security, and health, President Obama said Monday. Wow, what a whack job. Yes, because it's the whole problem the entire world has with you, Barack, is global warming. Well, he's unveiling his plan designed to reduce power plant emissions and fated to be a major 2016 campaign issue. No, you're going out of power, and yeah. Well, it's our moment to get this right, Obama said during a White House ceremony that formally unveiled what he'd called his Clean Power Plan. Yeah. How do you come out with a straight face? Well, actually, I shouldn't say a straight face. How do you come out with a black face and say you got a clean power plan? Well, actually, I guess now that I think about it, he can. He's doing that whole coal thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the plan, a major plank in Obama's overall climate change agenda, which is sure to be voted down by Congress. Well, it immediately became a fault line in the emerging fight to succeed him as president. Democratic presidential candidates praised the plan as a good way to confront the challenges of climate change, but nobody cares because their leader is Hillary Clinton. That's right. Republicans cast it as an over-regulation that will reduce jobs and inflate utility bills and vowed to change it if elected. Well, thank you. You just gave us a boost, doofy. Oh, yes. In his speech, Obama said that no challenge poses a greater threat to our future than climate change. And that is heating the atmosphere to record levels. Yes, especially in your homeland, right, boo-boo? Well, levels of carbon dioxide are the highest they've been in 800,000 years, Obama said. Yeah, like he'd know. Yeah. Causing more cases of asthma and other diseases. Oh, really? Because I thought that was smoking. Make up your mind. Yes, Obama said causing more cases of asthma and other diseases, especially among children, and threatening the nation's security. Oh, yeah, because, the border guards are wheezing, chasing the Mexicans. Yes. Yeah. Wow, I'm on a roll today.
Yes.
Well, Obama laid out a stark vision of what could happen if actions were not taken. Or the next president will have to say on how and if Obama's proposed emission reductions are enforced. The new requirements, including the major one that carbon emissions be reduced by 32% by the year 2030 relative to 2005 levels, kick in after Obama leaves office on January 20, 2017. Less than a year and a half away. Oh, I'm so happy. Yeah, you know, Gilbert, it's kind of like I remember when he was first and he got elected in 2007 there.
Yes.
Yeah. And they showed a real close up of Oprah's big fat face crying.
Yes.
Right. It's funny now at the end of this saga, I guess we'll call it. At the end of the saga, I feel like that big, fat, crying Oprah face. I do. It's going to be so nice to see him go.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the Clean Power Plan will also be the subject of lawsuits, of course, from energy interests who say that the government is exceeding its authority. Geez, it's like every time Obama puts on underwear, he exceeds his authority. Yes, and of course, it's the ill-conceived war on coal, they're coining it, and praising the president's plan, Hillary Clinton, dumbass extraordinaire. Yes, of course, the front-runner in the Scooby-Doo party. Yes, looking for that nomination 2016, said it drives investments in clean energy and energy efficiency, reduces asthma attacks and premature deaths, and promotes a healthier environment and a stronger economy. Wow, and to think she got all that under the president's desk. And it's also a floor, not the ceiling, Clinton said, vowing to go further with pollution restrictions and other climate change projects if she's elected, which pretty much sealed her fate. Yeah. Well, the plan will also need defending, Clinton says, because Republican doubters and defeatists don't want to offer any credible solution to the challenges of climate change. Really? Because Donald Trump, what did he say? What was it? Was it yesterday or Saturday?
Yes.
Saturday? Yeah, he said in Central Park, he said he would actually remove the fake hair in order for a cleaner environment. Now, Republican presidential candidates are indeed taking aim at the president's power plant proposals, calling them an overreach that will lead to have very bad side effects. The rule runs over state governments, will throw countless people out of work and increases everyone's energy prices, says former Florida Governor Jeb Bush. And, of course, the great Jedi Scott Walker. Well, he said Obama should call his project the Costly Power Plan, saying it will cost hardworking Americans jobs and raise their energy rates. Walker, like other GOP candidates, vowed to stop it if elected. Well, Senator Marco Rubio, a Republican of Florida, of course, questioned the value of any global climate change agreement, saying that China and India and other developing nations are going to continue to burn anything they can get their little dirty, grubby hands on. Well, there you go. Congressional Republicans also criticized the plan. The Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell noted that GOP lawmakers are moving to block new regulations rather than work with Congress on energy diversification. McConnell said this White House seems to want good politics, just not good policy or implementation. White House spokesman Josh Earnest said that he has no doubt that special interests and politicians who are in their pocket will fight the new rules, but the fact is that a step in the right direction on battling the effects of climate change is exactly that, he said. The plan arrives as the Obama administration ponders another major environmental decision, whether or not to approve the Keystone XL pipeline, which he really wants to put through so his corporations do really well after he's out of office. That's right. Yes, which would, of course, bring the oil from the tar sands of Canada to the Gulf Coast. Trust me, you don't want that shit anyway. Yeah. No, you really don't. Environmentalists, of course, opposed the project. The nation would wean itself from dirty fossil fuels. Energy companies and Republican presidential candidates generally support the pipeline as jobs and energy generator. And, of course, what they're not realizing here is that, Donald Trump has already stated that he plans to implement the exact system Brazil is using.
Yes.
And, of course, we all know Brazil has been off fossil fuels now for 12 years. Well, complimentary of the new power plant plan, some environmental groups called on Obama and presumably his successor, to go even further. Some said the plan is at odds with whether the Obama policies, including permits to allow oil drilling in parts of the Arctic wilderness. See how he snuck drilling in there? Well, Obama plans to promote his climate change agenda at a series of high-profile events in the coming weeks, including a summit in Nevada and, of course, the first ever presidential visit to the Special Olympics. And the president apparently will also discuss climate change with Pope Francis, who has already indicated a huge interest in climate change on, of course, Twitter. Well, later this year, delegates from the United States and other countries will gather in Paris to discuss a global climate change agreements, another potential issue, I should say, in next year's presidential election. The National Mining Association, an opponent.
Yes.
An opponent, thank you, of the new power plant plan called on the EPA to hold off on new rules, saying we have the opportunity to determine the lawfulness of the agency's attempt to commandeer the nation's electric grid. What are they drinking? What? Well, pledging to file a suit one way or another, the Mining Association president, highly inebriated Hal Quinn, said that the plan reflects the political expediency, not really a reality for supplying the nation with low-cost, reliable power. Administration officials said the states will be given flexibility to comply with new rules and can adopt them to their unique circumstances. Said Ernest, the fact is that this is an issue for politicians in Washington, and it's an issue they've been putting off for far too long. Obama noted that there will be critics who say the plan will cut jobs and cynics who say it can't be done, but they are parroting special interests and their allies in Congress. And we've heard these same state arguments before, he said, and they have not been borne out. They're simply excuses for inaction. Well, I don't know, like, Obama's presidency is really an excuse for inaction. Well, I'm the America's first black president, motherfucker.
Oh, my God, he's becoming black. I like it. Do a little rap here, too.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, yo, I tell you, this is my new coal plan, motherfucker. Y'all gonna take my coal plan and shove it up your ass. Of course, we got to get one of those grills installed in his teeth.
Yes.
You know? Well, listen, we're going to go for that first commercial break, but of course, when we come back, don't go nowhere, because of course, we're going to tell you about that Idaho hunter, yes, that defends her kill photos. I love slaughtering all these animals and F y'all. Yeah. That's right, we got that and a whole bunch more when we come back in 2.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
What if there was a coffee that was sourced from some of the world's most renowned growing regions, abundant with rich, fertile soil? What if this coffee was picked at the perfect moment, then packed meticulously and shipped carefully to be roasted under the watchful eye of coffee masters? What if it was expertly blended, ground, and sealed, ensuring maximum flavor and freshness, then brewed in small batches and always served fresh within 20 minutes, just the way you like it? Now, what if this coffee just happened to be the coffee you already know and love? Tim Hortons. Always fresh. Always great tasting coffee.
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice Body Spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
You know what I remember about a story about Pee Wee Herman at Caroline's when it was like in the 20s at one point.
20s, yeah.
And you had to walk across the club. I hate those when you got to walk to go to the men's room. You got to squeeze through the audience. And, he couldn't keep his head down and just hide because he's got, like you see Pee Wee Herman from 10 miles away. So he used to keep a jar with him.
Nothing quite like the Pee Wee Herman bucket of Pee Wee.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
That's the famous story about Jerry Lee Lewis. You heard that story, haven't you?
Yes.
Sitting behind his desk at Paramount, talking with big executives and TV people, and all of a sudden the chick pops up underneath, wipes off her mouth, and walks out the door. And Jerry doesn't have an eye.
I just, I love it when you tell the same story every day. I do. It reminds me of something. Well, what the hell? What the hell does that remind me of? Oh, wait, I know, Frankie McDonald. Yeah. Well, hey, Gilbert.
Yes.
Now, I hear tell. Word on the street, baby. Word on the street is you're pretty talented. Yeah.
I'm the most talented guy in this room.
Okay, all right. Well, I also heard through actually your buddy there, Frank Santo Padre.
Yes.
Yes. Or as I like to call him, Frank Satan.
Yes.
Well, we were talking, Frank and I.
Yes.
And now it's your turn, bitch. Yeah. No, but I heard a story, and the story kind of goes, a little like this. He was talking to me. He says that of course you do your impressions, and of course we all know your Jerry Lewis and your Hervé Villachez.
Yes.
And your Cary Grant, of course.
Hey, Joe, hey.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Your Cary Grant, of course, is the Jewish cantor and all that good stuff. But I hear rumors, and I wanted to see if you'd actually do it on the show today. Word is, Frank says you do a really good Jay Leno.
Yes.
And Jerry Seinfeld. So I'd be interested in...
Yes.
I'd be interested in having you lay those on us.
Hey, can I see your dick?
What's that? You want to see my dick? Yeah. Okay, let's go look at his dick.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. No, let's. Where's your Jay Leno now?
So I read somewhere that you have a dick. Can you show it to me?
Oh, that's it, huh? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to bore the audience with my Jay Leno,
yes.
But suffice it to say, you suck.
It's just life, and I love doing it. I love doing these kind of stories anyway.
Well, you always did love doing that stuff, so if I can be of help in any way, let me know. Yeah.
You love to do that kind of stuff. You always did.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back to the show. Of course, your coffee and cigarettes Monday Mocha, the little show to kick you in the scrotum and have you say hello to a new hell week.
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Oh, see, he totally caught her by surprise there. Yeah, I'm going to side with Kissy on that one. She didn't have a hope in hell.
Yes.
No. Well, moving on today, a big show, of course. We're going to tell you about the Idaho hunter now, who's, well, I guess because of this story, leaping to the defense of that effing little dentist prick. Yes, that's right. Female hunter Sabrina Corgaletti, and you probably know her because the bitch is all over Facebook. Yes, of course, she's the one that's, posing with the dead giraffe.
Yes.
The dead Siberian tiger.
Yes.
The dead lions.
Yes.
Well, she's coming out today, and she's defending kill photos she's posted on Facebook during her legal hunts in South Africa. Yes, Korga Eddy has received a firestorm, of course, of negative attention on her social media page in the wake of the illegal killing of Cecil the lion in Zimbabwe. Facebook user Lily Brooksby said, "Wow, well done. You killed a harmless, slow animal. You must feel very big and clever. Enough to post it on Facebook, sociopath."
Yeah.
Yes, another user, Merwin Griffin, posted, "You're really a disgusting person, Sabrina. Just a sad, small, disgusting person." However, not all comments directed towards Corrigelli were negative. Facebook user Becky Disqual defended the female hunter, posting, quote, "You may not like what she hunts, but wow, seems she has more class than you foul-mouthed so-called compassionate people." What does being foul-mouthed have to do anything with killing endangered species, bitch? Well, Corgetti's photos include images of her with a dead giraffe,
yes,
a dead wildebeest,
yes,
dead warthog,
yes,
and of course, which she shot under the guidance of Old Days Safari, an organization that arranges big game hunting excursions for visitors. In her July 25th post of the giraffe, she said, "Such an amazing animal.
That's why I blew it away, scumbag."
Yeah, such an amazing animal," she says. "I couldn't be any happier. My emotion after getting him was a feeling I will never forget." Well, honey, if you got 25 minutes, I can throw you in a jail cell and ass fuck you, and you'll know exactly what... I'm just kidding. I just want to throw her in a cell and ass fuck her. Yes, getting him was a feeling I will never forget. Despite heavy criticism of her hunting, which has included numerous death threats, Corgaetti has defended her hobby. That's a nice hobby.
Yeah.
In an interview with today's Carson Daly on Monday, Corgaetti said that everything she has done in South Africa is illegal. So how can you fault somebody because of their hobbies? She told Daly there is a connection with the animal, and just because we hunt them doesn't mean we don't have respect for them. Well, lady, nobody's bitching about a lack of respect for them. They're bitching about the, 4-inch hole you're putting in their cranium. Now, Corgetti's story differs from that, of course, of Minnesota dentist Walter Palmer, who killed Cecil the lion in Zimbabwe without a permit. The Idahoan has also had her job targeted by Facebook commenters. Some commenters posted her employment information online, according to Today. And if you'd like to get that, just search her on Facebook and we can all start our schmear campaign. Well, I got to be honest, Gilbert.
Yes.
I'm not a big, an animal activist or anything, and I was the one who came up with cat boxing. Oh, no. No. No, sorry, that was cat punching. Yes. I came up with that. I personally hate cats.
Yes.
Big ones, small ones, they smell gross and disgusting. They don't love you. I absolutely, but I'm what they call a dog person.
Yes.
I like dogs. Well, except those little ones that look like cats. But at any rate, just because I don't like cats, well, geez, what does that mean? I don't have them in my life.
Yes.
And then I married a woman with 10 cats. But it's okay. It's okay. 8 of them have died over the last 5 years.
Yes.
And thankfully, I've been able to be the one to take them out and bury them in the backyard.
Which woman are you married to or living with now?
I told you, the cat lady. Yeah, so there's only 2 left, and, well, one's just kind of a bag of bones. He won't be too much longer. And now, really, I got to stop this. I'm getting off topic.
Yes.
But, I don't, I've never, ever in my entire life, even as a young, stupid kid,
yes,
I never understood these big game hunters and I'm manly.
Yes.
Or in this case with this woman, of course, I'm manly. No, but I've never understood it, and I don't like it, and I think I would kind of actually side with the animal activists in wanting to actually string them up like unarmed black men. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting some not good signs from the chat room.
Yes.
It's one thing to go and hunt yourself a giraffe, Crash, but you've soiled kitties. Phil's telling me to move along.
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll just post a picture of the next dead cat I got around here. Actually, our neighbor,
yes.
Well, I guess kind of a neighbor. You can't see them through the woods there, but about a mile to the sort of the northwest of our place.
Yes.
We've got a neighbor there, and I'm not even kidding. They've got like 60 of the bloody things on their porch. Yeah, and of course, when I first met him,
yes.
I actually moved here, well, just about 5 years ago now. When I met our neighbor Carl, we went over and we're saying hi to them and meeting them and getting, seeing all these hordes of cats everywhere.
Yes.
And of course, the smell was, gaggable and all that good stuff, and we were talking to them and everything else, and we're being neighborly and
yes.
All the usual stuff and small talk and all that stuff and this, that, and the next thing, and then they tell us that all the cats have feline leukemia or something.
Yes.
So and they're born terminally ill.
Yes.
And then they just feed them and watch them mate and make more cancer cats and then the ones that are around for like 2 years, they just emaciate and die.
Yes.
And then I'm sitting here thinking to myself, geez, you love cats, so you're propagating eternal cancer, painful death. And I thought about that for a minute.
Yes.
And then I thought, cool. Oh, yes, and they have fleas.
Yes.
Well, actually, the other thing that's really horrible, of course, is, all these cats, which are really, genetically over the hundreds of years have been domesticated to be, indoor animals and pets for us humans.
Yes.
They don't fare too well out in the forest there, getting covered in blood-sucking ticks.
Yes.
And then, of course, all the ticks are dying of leukemia because they suck the blood,
You being Catholic, you realize that you can't have birth control. You realize that?
Yeah, but Louis, cats aren't my thing. It's not me. No, it's not me. I am not banging cats. I do bang pussy, but that's a different bloody animal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I got lost. HTLA.
Welcome back, Louis. Okay. Well, moving on today, our next story, it's kind of a nasty story, but it's maybe an uplifting and an inspirational one at the same time, if that's even possible.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it's a story of the ambushed St. Louis police officer, and God told me to put on a vest that fateful morning. Yeah. St. Louis. He was shot in the line of duty. St. Louis police chief called it an ambush. The police officer who was shot in July spoke for the first time on television since the shooting, asking that his name not be used out of a concern for the safety of his family. It was a hot St. Louis July night, like so many others I've worked before, the officer recalls. But while it may have started out as ordinary, the overnight shift on July 14 was nearly his last. Working his side job providing security in the Central West End after a long regular shift for the department, the heat was taking its toll and the officer had taken off his bulletproof vest. He had done rounds in the upscale entertainment district for about 2 hours, checking doors and locking gates, when he noticed some individuals on the street around 4:30 in the a.m. Black individuals. Well, they were just walking. There was nothing in particular about them, but the hairs on my neck stood up for some reason, he recalls, and at that point, there was a voice in me that told me to grab my vest. I know it was God. He put the vest back on and says the decision ended up saving his life. The 16-year police veteran won't talk specifics about the shootout that followed because 4 suspects are still, of course, facing charges, and they are black. But he says he believes they saw his police uniform and targeted him because of it. The official department account of that the suspects pulled up next to the officer's vehicle and opened fire on him. The officer fired back, and more than a dozen shots in all were exchanged. The officer chased his alleged attackers, though long enough to get a description, knowing that he had been hit. I realized I was shot, and he said that's when he began praying for the peace of mind to stay alive for his young son and his wife. And my prayers were answered, the 39-year-old sergeant said. The vest he decided to put on had stopped 6 bullets and 1 near his ribs. After the shooting, Police Chief Sam Dotson said that the officer had a non-life-threatening injury. Dotson credited the vest with saving the officer. Doctors have cleared the officer, and he has returned to work as far as any physical injuries are concerned, but he says counseling continues for wounds that are deeper and hopes to be back on the street by September. I know it sounds funny, but I'm glad I stood in the gap of someone not being a victim of these individuals wanting to cause crime in the neighborhood. I'm glad I was there to stop them from doing that and make an arrest on these guys before they hurt anybody else. When asked whether he would stand in that gap again, without hesitation, he said, absolutely. The officer has received support from the community. The officer was working from his personal car when he was shot. The vehicle was shot at least 14 times. A clothing store donated a replacement car, he said. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Oh, and now our next story. We identify the 4 black men. Yeah, actually, no. This is a different group of black men. Mm-hmm. Not even kidding. It is, and it's shooting of Memphis police officers.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, police identify the suspect in the Memphis officer's killing. That's right. Police in Memphis identified a 29-year-old convicted bank robber as the man who allegedly killed a city cop during a traffic stop on Saturday. Police Director Tony Armstrong on Sunday evening told reporters that Officer Sean Bolton apparently interrupted a drug dealer and that after some hype of physical altercation, or some type, I should say, Bolton was shot and killed by a passenger in the car. Armstrong said police were searching for a 29-year-old Tyler Moraine Wilbone. Well, they issued a warrant for his arrest. Wilburn had been free of supervised release from a U.S. Western District Court for a 122-month sentence for bank robbery, Armstrong says. He now faces first-degree murder charges. Armstrong said the drug transaction in question amounted to less than 2 grams of marijuana, which constituted a misdemeanor citation and a fine. Holding up a photo of Wilburn, Armstrong said, I think it's safe to say that when you look at the individual, you're looking at a coward. He's a coward. I'd just say he's black. Yes, he's a coward. You gun down, you murder a police officer for less than 2 grams of marijuana. You've literally destroyed a family. Look at the impact that it's had on this department, this community, this city for less than 2 grams of marijuana. The U.S. Marshal Service has offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to Wilburn's arrest. The Memphis Commercial quoted Memphis Mayor A.C. Wharton as saying that he will ask City Council to match that amount. Police are looking for Wilburn as part of an intense manhunt. Bolton, 33 years old, was the third Memphis officer killed since 2011. All of those were white, and the perpetrators black. There you go. Don't laugh. I'm not making this up. This is true.
Yes.
True. Black Lives Matter, my ass. Well, earlier, Armstrong said that a member of the public called dispatch at 9:18 p.m. Central Time Saturday using Bolton's radio to report that the officer has been shot multiple times. Officers found Bolton at the scene, rushed him to a regional medical center in critical condition, but he was later pronounced dead, Armstrong said. There is a theme that Black Lives Matter, said a sullen Armstrong. Yes, who actually, in fact, is black. At the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, don't all lives matter? Well, geez, I've been saying that for years, idiot. Yeah. At the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves, don't all lives matter? Well, of course. All lives matter, and this is just a reminder of how dangerous this job is. The shooting, set off an immense manhunt that ended with officers surrounding an apartment building in the city. Police did not immediately identify the person of interest who was apprehended. Armstrong said that his department was once again mourning. It's a difficult time for all the officers you see standing behind me, he said. Do you see them standing behind me, Gilbert?
Yes.
Yeah, and difficult time for the city as well. Mayor A.C. Wharton joined Armstrong in asking for prayers for the officer's family, the Memphis Police Department, and the city. He also pointed to the proliferation of guns as adding to the dangers that officers face. Once again, we won't make any political statements here, but this again is evidence that there are so many guns in our streets in black hands. Yeah. Oh, my. Yeah. So there that is. I mean, I don't know. What the hell do what do you do with that,
So I could see you feel very uncomfortable talking.
Okay.
Now there was another time you were when I know you're very secretive about your drug problem.
Oh yeah, great timing. Way to bring that up. Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part.
Yes, and the guns are your fault too, Louie. Well, asking for prayers for the family and the city. Once again, we won't make any political statements here, but again, this is evidence that there are so many guns in our streets that are in the wrong hands, Wharton says. Men and women in blue have rules of engagement that they have to follow, but they're dealing with people who have no rules of engagement. Bolton, who joined the force in 2010, served a tour of Iraq and studied political science at the University of Memphis. In July 2011, Memphis officer Tim Warren was killed while responding to a shooting. In December 2012, Officer Morita Lang was killed while serving a warrant. This is my third time in 4 years, and it doesn't get any easier, Armstrong says. Cut it out. I think he's had enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to go for that second commercial break, get that out of the way, and then, I know. Kissy is kind of, up on the whole deal now and knows that we blew off the whole weather report. Yes, unfortunately, I'm very, very saddened today to report that we do not have our babe weather twins. We don't have them. We don't have the dildo noises. We don't. So again, we got to stick with the good old Frankie McDonald. And I'm kind of pissed that nobody sent in any sound bites.
Yes.
I kind of think we're going to have Frankie do a double shot. I just call it a little payback, you know? Well, we're going to go for that commercial break. When we come back, we got some news about the National Baseball Congress, too, suspending the use of bat boys after a death in the game. And they say baseball's not exciting back in 2.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.
Good morning. Welcome to Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where fresh always tastes better. What can I make you this morning?
How about our new flatbread breakfast paninis? Made fresh, just for you, with your favorite breakfast ingredients on maple or multigrain flatbread, then grilled to hot, melted perfection. Just $2.99. Who couldn't warm up to that?
Tim Hortons Cafe and Bake Shop, where quality really does meet value.
When we arrived at our hotel in New York, the porter was so incredibly careless with our bags. And the room they gave us, it was beautiful. A broom closet. But the worst part was the shower. My wife drying herself with the
Egyptian cotton towels.
Shower curtain defined that whole vacation for her. Don't just visit New York.
Visit TripAdvisor New York.
With millions of reviews, a visit to TripAdvisor makes any destination better.
Let's do a brand new day. Let's step away from the bland and let the color fly. Let's get to the one store with more number one choices and match this or this without using too much of this. Then, let's crack open a can and get to it. Paint? No. Let's do POW. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Glidden Duo starts at a new lower price of $25.46 a gallon.
Glasses. White Rum has a new captain. Introducing the all-new Captain Morgan White Rum. 5 times distilled for a smoother taste.
You've got it locked to HTLA Radio 1, New York.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah?
On Twitter and on Instagram.
Or it's free! That's right. You're tuned into HTLA Radio 1 New York. I'll tell you what you've won. Well, that's right. We are back on the big show today, of course, and
You know why, Chris? Because you're such a control freak, you don't want anyone to tell you what to do.
Really? Is that... Yeah? You think so, huh?
No. No, I don't.
Oh, that's good to know, Louis. Thank you very much for that input right there when I was in the middle of talking.
How many different families do you have?
Enough. I'm okay. I'm good. I'm set up.
The music is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to hear it.
Yeah, we're listening right now. Yeah.
Yes.
There's music.
Hey, can I see your dick?
What are you talking about? And I've just got word from Phil DeYoung, of course.
Yes.
He's just let us know that his sister won't send audio like he asked. Right. All right, well, that's fine. We'll just start saying on the show that she's got a big ass.
Yes.
That'll fix it right there.
So I read somewhere that you have a dick. Can you show it to me?
Yes, it is true, ladies and gentlemen. You are back on the big show. Your coffee and cigarettes, HTLA Radio 1, New York's best talk. Your Monday Mocha for the 3rd of August, 2015. 89 degrees, Central Park, sunny time. And yes, absolutely, if I had a gun, I would lose the rest of my cats to accidents. Yeah? That's absolutely correct, and I'm not going to try and dissuade that at all. No.
Same thing.
It really is, gun, dead cats. It's, Of course, me being me, I'd at least dress them up in little cowboy outfits with little suspenders and little gun belts and one of those little leather vests like Haas used to wear.
Yes.
And I'd stand them up. Maybe I'd have to sort of tie him up against a tree. And we do that whole high noon thing. You ready to draw, pussy? And of course, the cat's there shaking. I've got paws, you asshole.
Yes.
It would be fair. I would, it would be a small little gun with little bullets, but it'd be a real gun. Be and I'd talk to him for a little while too. I'd do my Clint Eastwood.
Yes.
Word around town is you've been calling me a pussy. Well, punk, have you been calling me pussy? Oh, that would be so great, and I could just blow his little pumpkin head right off. No, like what's her name did to Gene Hackman in The Quick and the Dead. Yeah, just right between the eyes. Ping.
Yes.
And yes, to be fair, no, I wouldn't be sporting no big 44 Magnum or a Rosswood 460 or something. No, I'm not an animal. No, I'd have a nice little 22. Because you want the bullet small enough so that you put a little hole in the kitty in his chest and he can grab it with his paw and go, "You got me, Gus." Good night, little baby. Go see your Puss in Boots. Go see your Puss in Boots. Well, enough of that kind of fantasy dreaming. No, it's no, I'm sorry. I get a little carried away sometimes, gang.
Yes.
I'm back now, and of course, it is time to go to the HTLA Coffee and Cigarettes Monday traffic with the one, the only, Mr. Brock Favors. Are you there?
Hello, everybody out there. This is Brock Favors with Traffic on the Ones. Chad Armstrong is out sick today, so I am filling in for my usual land reports, and I'm up here at the chopper. But I gotta tell you guys, I am loving the view. Oh my God! Oh! No! Stop! Oh! Whew. All right. Well, we are over the 10. It is massively clogged down there like a pint of maple syrup on a cool November morning. And we do. Oh! Goddamn! We're gonna die in this mother.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Woo! Okay. I am very sorry, folks. It's a little bit of a bumpy ride up here. We are now approaching the 405, where the left lane is blocked by a mattress. So somebody is going to be doing a little return to IKEA later today. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, please! Oh goddamn! Oh, get me out this motherfucking death machine right now! Oh, mama, help me, mother. Oh, mama. With a 405 is up right now, ain't nobody going down this. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry, folks. I'm very sorry, but I'm losing my up here.
Actually, you have every right to. We're about to crash.
Oh, help me!
Yes, and of course, as always, HTLA Radio 1 New York would also like to extend its condolences, of course, to the Favors family.
Yes.
There we go. And, well, another family I'd like to extend some condolences to is the McDonald family. But unfortunately, I can never do that.
Yeah.
No.
They get crazy because all of a sudden nobody loves them.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's if that's anybody, Louis, that is definitely Frankie McDonald. It is. But, yeah, so unfortunately we don't have our big-titted weather girls as such. You know, this late Sunday, yesterday I was actually sitting here by the email, by the Facebook.com/HTLA crash Jesus, of course.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting for one of these hotties, just one of them, to send me a 3-minute audio bite of a little masturbation and a dildo. What's the big deal? I'm sitting there waiting for it and waiting and waiting.
Yes.
And it's getting later. It's after dinner time now. I've still got nothing.
Yes.
It just occurred to me, these people really do love that retarded man. They do. So I was thinking, I was kind of getting vindictive last night. Of course,
yes.
I was getting angry, and I was thinking, well, geez, okay, well, fine, we'll go to Frankie McDonald tomorrow. That's fine, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I was jazzing myself all off. We're gonna do Frankie McDonald, and then it hit me. Yes, the brilliance. I'm gonna do it twice today. So now, not only do we get the joy of a 2-year-old weather report, we're going to get a double shot. So without further ado, the one, the only Frankie McDonald, HTLA meteorologist extraordinaire with some weather from probably long, long ago.
Yeah.
This is Frankie McDonald, my own TV station live in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Massive blizzards headed towards Maine on Tuesday, January the 27th, 2015. It's going to bring 30-plus centimeters of snow, especially in Bangor, Maine, and Portland, Maine as well. It's going to bring a lot of snow. Winds are going to be very strong. It's going to be zero visibility. It's going to be blowing and drifting snow, which is 6 to 12-plus inches of snow for the state of Maine, including Bangor, Maine, and Portland, Maine. Since a low-pressure system is going to develop off the east coast of the United States, then a low-pressure system is going to intensify and move up the east coast of the United States. That's going to cause blizzard conditions in Portland, Maine, Bangor, Maine, Lewiston, Maine, and the rest of the state of Maine on Tuesday, January 27th, 2015. It's going to bring blizzard conditions, howling winds, blowing and drifting snow, wind conditions, and zero visibility. It's going to be very strong winds, blowing and drifting snow for the state of Maine, including Portland, Maine as well. It's going to be an intense snowstorm with blizzard conditions on Tuesday, January 27th, 2015 in Maine. People in Maine, be prepared. Have your winter boots ready, have your winter jackets ready. Hats and gloves, scarf and ski pants is ready. Order your pizzas and order your Chinese food. Buy cases of Pepsi, buy cases of Coke. Do your grocery shopping. Don't wait till last minute. Do it right now.
Samsung,
have your iPad search,
iPhone,
have your iPod search,
yeah.
Have your cell phone search, have your laptop search, have your tablet search, have your 3G, 4G ready.
Buy
When
your
it rolls
movie
on,
tickets.
Don't walk too
movie
fast.
tickets. Oh,
if you
shit.
don't like the blizzard, don't go outside.
Make sure you buy that used
because
car.
It's going to be blizzard conditions.
Come on.
When you drive the car, take your time, drive the car.
Slow
down so you don't get into car accidents.
Why don't you suck
Make
my
sure you have your
dick,
shovels
you
ready,
fucking
snow
piece of
scoops
shit.
ready, snow blowers ready, snow plows
I
ready.
don't care if they
salt
fire
trucks
me.
ready
You're
as well.
fucking retarded.
Drink lots of green tea, white tea, red tea.
Yeah, red tea,
Drink
you
lots
frickin'
of green
homo,
tea to keep you
what?
warm. Have your furnaces ready. Turn on your furnaces to keep the house warm. Since it's going to be a
Furnaces?
massive blizzard
It's freaking
for Maine on
summertime.
Tuesday, January 27, 2015.
Holy crap, die!
If anybody living in Maine, be prepared for a massive blizzard on Tuesday, January 27, 2015. Best luck to you, people in the state of Maine. Be prepared for a massive blizzard on Tuesday. Take care, stay safe. Don't get caught in a massive blizzard.
Yeah.
Stay warm, be safe.
Frickin' A, yeah. Yeah, because, of course, Frankie gets the applause. Yeah, sure. Whatever, you bastards.
I nearly got kicked out of a theater. I can't remember what I saw about 2 weeks ago because I was booing and screaming.
Yeah, but did you go and buy your tickets because Frankie said so? Yeah, okay. And if you did, of course you'd be kicked out for booing and screaming. I'm sure Frankie does that too. Yeah.
The music is fantastic.
We didn't play
Oh,
any.
you got to hear it.
No, we didn't play any. Great. Well, I'm glad that's freaking over. Yeah. Okay, so moving along today, National Baseball Congress. Yes, they're suspending it. And no, not the, unfortunately, paychecks of baseball players. No, they're suspending the use of bat boys. That's right. After a death in the game, the National Baseball Congress said today that it will not use bad boys or bad girls. Of course, for the remainder of the World Series games in Wichita following the death of Kaiser Carlisle, the 9-year-old bat boy. For the Liberal BJs, died Sunday, a day after he was struck by a follow-through swing of a player warming up near the on-deck circle during a game. The boy was wearing a helmet and was immediately treated by home plate umpire Mark Goldfeder, a longtime paramedic, until an ambulance arrived. We suspended the program for the rest of the tournament because the situation that happened this weekend, Jason Ybarra told us. The operations manager for the NBC Baseball Foundation says the World Series has 5 days left with 8 teams remaining. Ybarra said some teams brought bad boys. Bad boys with them, including the BJs, and that the National Baseball Congress assigned volunteer bat boys and other teams. He said Monday's decision suspends the use of bat boys. And, of course, all circumstances. Now, we do have to be clear here.
Yes.
This is not, the actual real World Series. It's Baby League. Yeah. Unless you really believe there's a team called the Milwaukee BJs. And, of course, if you do, well, I'm taking some bets. Yeah. Well, moving on today to, something real. Yes, well, I wouldn't even call this real.
Yes.
No. Yes, Bobby Christina today, buried next to Mother Whitney in New Jersey. The tragedy of Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina Brown, a mother and daughter who died too young, culminated today in Bobby Christina's burial next to her mom in a New Jersey cemetery, as her grieving, feuding family is watched. The gold hearse carrying the casket of Bobby Christina, whose funeral was Saturday in Georgia, left a funeral home in Newark and arrived at the Fairview Cemetery in Westfield, New Jersey on Monday around midday. The hearse was followed by 2 SUVs carrying relatives, including her father, Bobby Brown, her maternal grandmother, Sissy Houston, and mother's cousin, singer Dionne Warwick, according to the Associated Press. Police closed the roads heading to the ceremony. About a dozen people gathered outside the gates to catch a glimpse of the hearse. Man, it's nothing like Elvis's funeral, right? Well, although it was a private service, fans were able to follow the proceedings on Twitter and comment. Bobby Christina died July 26th in a Georgia hospice, almost 6 months after she fell into unconsciousness in a bathtub in a still mysterious incident at her Georgia townhouse on January 31st. She was only 22. Before the burial, there was a service at a Wingham Funeral Home in Newark. It is the same funeral home that handled all the arrangements 3 years ago for her mother, Whitney Houston, who died in a bathtub at the Beverly Hills Hotel the night before the Grammys. The funeral home declined to comment. That's why they're using them again. Yes, but Bobby Christina was to be buried next to her mother. Bobby Christina's funeral in Alpharetta, Georgia, was briefly disrupted when her aunt, Leola Brown, sister of her father, Bobby Brown, erupted angrily during the eulogy by her maternal aunt, Pat Houston, and had to be escorted out by security. She made a beeline for the media waiting outside the church and made it clear that the tension between some members of the Houston family and some members of the Brown family is not over now that Bobby Christina is gone. There's respect for you. And, of course, it comes from the Brown family.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, it's just getting started, Brown warned reporters. I told Houston that Whitney is going to haunt her from the grave. Well, Leola Brown has been ranting against Pat Houston in public and on her Facebook page for weeks, accusing Whitney's sister-in-law and former manager of various evil deeds of using Bobby Christina's funeral to add to her personal foundation's coffers. Yeah, the Brown family's one to talk about, yeah. Right. The Houston family's various spokeswomen have declined for months to comment about anything having to do with feuding among Bobby Christina's maternal and paternal relatives. In any case, Leola Brown has offered no evidence of any misdeeds other than her own angry, bitch-ass black comments. And as if that were not enough for grieving Bobby Brown, his wife, Melissa Etheridge. There you go. There you go. See? See, I'll bet you did not know that Bobby Brown was married to Melissa Etheridge.
Yes.
Oh, frick. Yes, as if that were not enough for the grieving Bobby Brown, his wife, Alicia Etheridge, thank you. Yes, who gave birth a few weeks ago. Well, she suffered a seizure at their hotel and had to be rushed to a local hospital. Although she had recovered enough to walk in unassisted when she arrived, the feud between Brown and Houston family aunts resulted in Bobby Christina Brown's aunt Leola walking out in the funeral services. Leola spoke to the media following the incident August 1st. It's just a bad scene, you know?
Yes.
It's I don't know. I think we need some Seinfeld.
Hey, can I see your dick?
Can you give me any help for $25,000?
No. God damn it. Well, hey, I bet you did not know this little tidbit of fun.
Yes.
Illinois has been named the top party school in the USA. That's right. What the hell's that show? You remember the one I don't watch?
Yes.
I tell you, I don't understand.
Hey, can I see your dick?
Oh, okay, you do it better. Fine. All right. I can't fight it anymore, yes?
You know, I'm the most talented guy in this room.
All right, I bow to you, brother.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, here's a segue.
Yeah, anytime.
I'm here with my co-host. He is a writer, producer, director, and comedian who is responsible for some of the most successful and profitable movies of the last 15 years. He's also produced television. I'm running out of room on this card already.
Oh, that was a great segue, you little idiot. But to what?
It's about fucking time. Move on.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, and it's old, and it's also there. It's like the songs are suffering and pain. It screams of pain.
I don't know what pain you're talking about. I mean,
Take me to your heart.
Right.
Show me where to start. Let me play the part
of your first love. Yeah. Thank you. That's right, baby. We'll be here all week.
Yes.
Well, yes, Illinois actually made it. Yes, they're top on the charts, named the top party school in the USA right there. Everybody get your cell phones, video cameras, and let's make some porn history. Yep. That's right. The University of Illinois stakes claim to 23 Nobel Prize winners and tech prowess that contributed to the creation of YouTube, Netscape, Java, and Yelp. But students at the Central Illinois campus don't just bury their heads in books. No, they also party. So much, in fact, that they've earned the top spot in the Princeton Review's annual list of top party schools in the U.S., the College Guide said today. Yes, drinking culture is huge here, according to an unnamed student. Yes, it is. Absolutely. And, the Princeton Reviews, that's a pretty prestigious, party review group. Yeah. They also put out the 2016 edition of the best 380 colleges. Wow. So I guess if you don't get accepted to the first 3 or 4 in the country, they've given you 376 more to go. Yeah. Well, the university has about 31,000 undergraduate students. University spokeswoman Robin Kaler was bothered by the #1 ranking for the first campus, which has been among the list's top 5 for years, and said it painted students in a bad light. Yes, of course. They are serious. They're hardworking and try to represent them as being somehow irresponsible. It's insulting, she said today. The largest of the parties is an annual day of drinking called Unofficial, a St. Patrick's Day celebration that was started by a local bar. The event included fatal accidents in 2011 and 2001 and 6. The university tries every year to keep the event under control, often beefing up police presence, and 2 years ago even asking parents to help them tone down the partying. Now, the Princeton Review's publisher says the collection of lists is meant to paint a picture of life on the campus at the schools it reviews, using students' answers to a long series of questions about student life to create profiles, as well as lists for things such as partying, dorm life, sports, political persuasions, and more. We have such a high regard for each of the 380 schools, says publisher Roger Frenick, whose review is not affiliated with Princeton University, the University of Illinois. It is an exceptional school. For those who don't imbibe, the top stone-cold sober school is, of course, Brigham Young University and private Utah University, affiliated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Tops for most religious students, that's, of course, BYU, too. Looking for the best campus food? Hey, try the small, exclusive Bedouin College in Maine for all those sand spiders. Well, the most satisfied students, Claremont McKenna University, under what one student told the review was constantly beaming California sun. Yeah. Well, if you want a job, go to Clemson University in South Carolina, where students say they're instantly part of a worldwide network. The party rankings, like most parties themselves, change over time. The University of Iowa's former #1, but came at #2 this year. Freshmen due in Iowa City this month will find dozens of bars downtown and many house parties awaiting them, but the city has also made it harder for those under 21 to get into bars, and police officers will be patrolling neighborhoods to break up rowdy parties. Rounding the top 5 party schools in order, well, the University of Wisconsin-Madison, Bucknell University in Pennsylvania, and last year's #1 Syracuse in New York. Isn't that nice? Isn't that special?
Yes.
Well, normally that would kind of round it out for us today. That would pretty much be the end of all things. When you get down to a story about frickin' the best drunk school, you know, that pretty much lets you, the HTLA listener, know we're out of shit. We got nothing. But that would be an error in your judgment today because we're not done.
Yes.
No. No, we've got a very interesting story. Now, we all know about the droughts that are, you know, of course, on 4 of the 7 major continents on the planet.
Yes.
Well, drought is doing more than, well, killing off skinny black people in Africa. Yes, it's actually resulted in the discovery of a World War II plane that was lost and now found in Lake Mead. Yeah. Yeah. And, well, it's kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing. This is a little reminiscent of when, well, Jenny was here. But, of course, Kissy has given me this great headline. Like, yes. It's a stunning headline. Wow, a World War II plane was found in Lake Mead because of the drought? That is sensational. It is. Yeah. And but the only problem with this is,
yes,
she's just given me the headline. No story. There's nothing. Okay, drought conditions in the West have revealed a B-29 plane from World War II in Lake Mead, Arizona.
Yes,
that's all I got. Okay, well, thanks a lot, Kissy. Your check's going to be in the mail, too.
You know how to spell my last name on the check, right? It's Louis Lawless.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Well, hey, thanks, Kissy, for really screwing the last little bit of the show there. That was nice. You just strapped on a big black dildo and shoved it all the way up my ass. Yeah. Louis, want to thank you for being here today. It was great having you.
I go a half an hour. Do I get 50,000?
I think we're far past that, sir. Gilbert, you got to do the social media.
Don't forget to follow us on our Facebook page, on Twitter, and on Instagram.
There we go. Thank you.
Hey, can I see your dick?
All right, you can see my dick. Okay. Thank you, Gilbert, for being here again today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening and support the show.
For the love of God. Also want to thank you, the HTLA listener out there on whatever platform on this planet you may be catching the HTLA at Radio 1, New York's best talk. Thank you for plugging in every day. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, for your Tuesday Espresso. And hey, have yourselves one heck of a great rest of your Monday. Ciao for now.
We're New York's best talk radio, HTLA Radio 1.